I think. Yeah, yeah.
Are
Like
you
we
also are you going to temple? Are you in touch with some devotee there or no?
not as much over here. Over here, the temple is like very far, and then I'm always driving back and forth. But I keep the Laddu Gopalji you guys the
Yeah,
temple gave me. Yeah, I
yeah,
just do. I just mostly pray to Laddu Gopalji at home. No,
yeah. Your home can be temple.
yeah.
Your home can be nice temple, Mataji. There is nothing harm with that. If you are living in an area where there is no, or you start a place and start preaching, you
Oh,
can start, you can create the surroundings,
oh,
you can create your environment around you. That's how it works. I mean, anybody here can tell you that's how we have become devotee because wherever we stayed, somebody reached out and
oh.
tried to teach us, Krishna consciousness. So everything has, plan behind, and I'm sure that Krishna is sending you there or has sent you there, means there is some plan with it.
Oh,
That's
thanks,
that's how I
brother.
see. So try to see what is that plan and then
Oh,
work accordingly. We
okay,
are
Prabhuji.
almost done with Isopanisad, almost done. I have only two verses, so one of them I'm going to do today. And today verse is going to be very interactive. So let me chant the Pranam mantra, and then after that we can talk. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatadham Bande Shri Gurum Dentaranam Paramanand Madhvam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 नाम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय सम्मल भक्त वृंद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नित्य गौरा प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल की जय हरे कृष्णा हाउ इज एवरीबॉडी डूइंग
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, that's normal Western
हरे
Prabhuji.
कृष्णा
Doing good Prabhuji.
please don't double task rather focus on what we are going to discuss and then we'll go through it. I might take some time, maybe 3 classes to finish next 2 verses, but you should all be working on your homework and we'll talk about the exam date also if we get time. So Isopanisad, very last series of verses, last 4 verses. Last class, we talked about how a devotee is sincerely praying that, my dear Lord, help me come to your Bhagwan understanding. And how you can do that? You can do that by removing the effulgence, impersonal understanding that living entity has about you. You can remove that. And then devotees even go a step down and beg, please, 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 help me understand. Help me understand your Bhagwan form. So that's what this verse is about. It's going to give one step ahead in our prayer to Supreme Lord so that He can reveal His Bhagwan form. So verse goes like this. Vayur anilam amritam athe idam bhashmantam shariram om karato asmara kritam asmara karto asmara kritam asmara. Vayur anilam amritam Athe idam bhasmantam sariram. Om karto asmara kritam asmara. Karato asmara kritam asmara. That's how, if you want to be a little poetic, you can sing this verse. So Vayu, we know that, right? What is Vayu? Air. And Anil, Anilam, fire. Vayur, Anilam, Amritam. Let that, or Anilam here is transferred a total reservoir of the air. So all totality of the air. And Vayu particularly here is referred to the Apan Vayu, Pran Vayu, types of three types of five types of air, four types of air that we have in our body. Let that, let that merge into Amritam. Amritam here, as you know, it's Amritam always refers to something that cannot be destructed. So the devotee is praying that Vayur Anilam Amritam. Let my life air, what is life air at the time of leaving the body? They say that the prana, apana. So pran has mentioned here as Vayur. Let that pran be merged into the totality of the air. So what is the totality of the air? Lord Himself. Let this body, athe idam, bhashmantam, bhash, something when it is completely burned to ashes is called asantam. Sarira means the body. Let this temporary body be burned to ashes. When the body is completely burnt to ashes, my dear Lord, let the life force, the prana, soul that is coming out of this body, let that prana be at your shelter. And here is the part that we have to do. Om Kratu Asmara Kritam Asmara. Oh my dear Lord, kindly Asmara Kritam. Everything that I have done, the life, the soul has done. Asmara, please remember everything that the soul has done for you. So, Prabhupada translate here, my dear Lord, please remember all the sacrifices that I have done for you. So this verse is extremely powerful, very critical, very important verse. And this verse also should make us proud. So in a devotee, like many of you, are you doing sacrifice or not? That's the question I have to ask first. Are we doing any type of sacrifice? Are you doing any sacrifice or not? What is the answer?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Yeah, we all are doing some sacrifice. So what are some of the sacrifices that we are doing? Can we tell? What are some of the sacrifices that we do?
Waking early in the morning, doing
Getting
Mangalarti.
up early in the morning, although we can sleep, right?
Yeah.
So create the contrast to understand the impact of that. I got up at 4 o'clock, came for Mangalarti. I could have slept. 3:30 I have to get up, take shower, then drive half an hour so that I can be here for Mangalarti. And I could sleep, but I got up. Many of you got up and you were doing your chanting. Okay, what else we do as sacrifice? Please speak out.
We
This
do.
is not tough questions.
Yeah, we
Everybody has to speak. Say something. Yeah.
usually is not would like to take the sensual enjoyment, like maybe going to
Yes.
movies or
Yeah.
outside.
So not doing the things of sense enjoyment, such as associating with the people who are outside, going to movie theater, watching movies, or doing things for sensual pleasure, smoking, drinking, wine, liquor, all of those things. Although you can do, being in North America and having a good job, good money, you have all that resources with you. You can very easily do, but you are not doing it. Is a sacrifice or not a sacrifice?
Sacrifice.
Huh?
Yes.
Sacrifice.
It's a huge sacrifice, very big. People are, you know, basically dying to get what you have already. Okay, so it's a huge sacrifice. What other sacrifice do we do?
Going to temple, not not doing anything, but going to temple,
Following for
Going to
it.
temple regularly. No, going to temple regularly. Who said not going somewhere else, not doing something else, rather going to temple
Yeah, eat
and
present.
doing services to temple, deity worship, cooking, washing pot, washing the floor, and all types of services that you do. So is that a sacrifice or not a sacrifice?
Yes.
Yes.
Eh?
it is, yeah,
Yes.
probably.
It is sacrifice.
A sacrifice. Santa Mataji, you were saying something. What is that?
Following four regulative principles. Eating
Very
present.
good. Following four regulative principles. What are those?
No meat eating, no intoxication,
No gambling,
no gambling, and
no
No
illicit
illicit
sex.
sex.
no
So
illicit.
are those sacrifice or not? Can you eat meat?
No.
Yeah. Can you gamble? Yes.
Mm.
Can you be intoxicated? Yes. All of that you can do, but you are not doing. Is sacrifice or not? Sacrifice. What else?
Eating prasadam only.
Eating prasadam only. That itself is a huge sacrifice. I cannot eat because it's not prasadam. I cannot eat things which are not cooked in Hare Krishna temple. I cannot eat those things which are not pure. So, sacrifice. What else do we do? Please, there are a lot of things.
Getting up in
Chanting
the
is sacrifice or not? 2
Yeah.
hours minimum it takes to chant. Keep mind focused. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. I don't want to do anything. I'll just focus on. What else? What else do we have that we do? Please tell me.
Fasting on Ekadasi.
Fasting on Ekadasi is a big sacrifice. Okay. Yes.
getting up in
Reading.
the morning.
Huh?
Getting
Reading.
up in the morning.
Yeah. Reading books. No. Authentic scripture, bona fide scripture that we read. That itself
Don-
is a sacrifice.
Donation, donating to the temple for
The
charities.
donations that we do
To
to the temple, making sure that services that we do, anxiety that we take. Right now, we are building a temple. We are trying to get donations from devotee, help from devotee. A lot of anxiety going on. How we can get it, then how we can. Is all that sacrifice or not? So
yes.
now I would like to. Anwar Prabhu, do you have anything that you want to say? What sacrifice you are doing?
Sacrifice, I mean, we are sacrificing our time
Our
in a sense.
time, our time, our life.
Yeah.
We are, in fact, if you are my wife, not to appreciate myself, but she tells that, you got up in the morning And he said, I have to do this, I have to do this the whole day,
Hmm.
thinking about this person, that person, and the people I have to deal with, project I have to deal with, politics I
Hmm.
have to deal with. I call it 3P: people, project, and politics. Dealing with project is very easy. If I have to just deal with the project, it's very. But people who will understand, who will take how you are saying something else, you have a right intent, they will take something else, understand something else, extrapolate, interpolate. Prabhu, you are saying this. You are heavy. You are dry. You are not working on developing relationship. I said, come. I'm just your servant. Gopi Bharta Padakamala or Das Das. I'm maintaining a distance. I'm trying to keep our relationship in a way that all we have is only a spiritual connection. There is nothing material. Okay. A
Hmm.
devotee, a devotee is humble. You talk to a devotee, and a devotee is showing humility. Is this weakness of us or a strength of the devotee?
That is the ornament of a devotee.
So it's just a strength, right?
Yes.
But somebody if tells that this is the weakness, you know,
Hmm.
somebody who is not going to any other place and focused only on Krishna consciousness. Is it weakness or a strength of the devotee? What do you think?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
Somebody who is chesty, very chesty with the teaching of Prabhupada, with the movement,
That
going
is
to
the
Hare
strength.
Krishna temple, very much is, adhering to the principle that is given by Prabhupada. Is it
That is
a strength or weakness?
strength. Very
Oh,
strong strength.
it's very, it will take so many years for one to understand how powerful a strength that is. Unless and until you elevate in Krishna consciousness, you would not be able to understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being pure in your consciousness, dealing purely with the people, is it weakness or a strength?
Strength.
It's
So,
a yeah.
yeah, somebody was saying something.
I think it's a huge strength. I think like Krishna gives us strength to go into
Mm,
devotion because I think he chooses us. He chooses his devotees because not everybody is able to concentrate or
that's a very
like,
good point.
yeah, like sometimes I talk to my friends and they're like, oh, we're not able to concentrate. Like they have other priorities like their kids or their work and they don't want to like, they say they don't have time to pray.
Nice, very nice. I was going to now conclude, getting into that direction. Thank you so much for saying that. So, what Mataji said is very
No
true.
time.
Devotees are, all of us, all, I'm not saying that to become proud, okay? Sometimes we get remorse. Sometimes we feel that, very remorseful, what I'm doing, where I'm just giving you the asset that you already have with you, the asset that you already possesses. Whenever I talk to devotees who are from North America, they have a lot of respect for Indian devotee. I talk to Chakri Prabhu, Divananda Prabhu, they are all American devotee, or even Binda Sundari Mataji. If you talk to them, they'll say that, oh, you all are very pious. You all are very pure. You all have a lot of sense control already inbuilt. We have to struggle to be like that, but you already have so many good credit built to you. So these are the asset. We do have some material asset, education and other wealth and power and prestige that is there. But all of these things that I'm telling, taking birth in the past family from very childhood, hearing Ram Ram, Krishna Krishna, having some faith in higher consciousness that at the course of time brought us here where we are now practicing Krishna consciousness. Jyoti Mataji said that many people who say that, oh, you all have time to meditate. I don't have even time to do meditation. Do they really don't have time to meditate, or they are not giving the priority to meditation? What they are doing exactly? Do they have really no time, or they are giving a priority to something else? If my statement is clear.
Priority.
Being priority. Sorry.
Yeah, they are giving something else to supersede over meditation or over chanting or anything like that. I'm not doing anything wrong, morning to evening, nothing. I'm very busy. Yeah, it's good. Am I going and fighting with somebody? Am I abusing somebody? Am I going and telling somebody, stealing somebody's wealth? No. Busy is good. Morning to evening, all of us are occupied. Sunday, Saturday, very busy. This class, that class, this class, this course, that course. This Prabhu is giving me the class, Bhakti Sastri course, Bhakti Baba course. I have to send this email, I have to send that email. Make sure this Prabhu gets on time, this Prabhu schedule. A lot of stuff that we are doing, devotees are doing. Are these all a strength or weakness?
Strength.
It's all a strength. So that is why all of you should be very proud. Okay, it's not like that Krishna is not caring about us, or people sometimes say, oh, you have seen God. I say the evidence of seeing God is that you are getting the strength to do the right thing in your life. The strength to stay on the path, that itself is a strong evidence that Krishna is showering mercy upon you. The test that you have to be in this class, among everything that's going on in your life, that itself is a evidence that Krishna is showering mercy upon you. So that's what a devotee is praying. Saying that, especially when we get old, very old, all of us, uh, none of us are going to survive more than 110, 120 years if we can live that long, mostly 70, 75 years. After that, our stories wrap up. We are gone. We are done. How many of you remember grandfather or grandfather of the grandfather, grandfather, and all of that? How many of we remember them, and how we remember them? How much value we give to them? But at some point, they were a very prominent person. When they were on this planet, they thought that they are very important, and everything that's happening around them is extremely important. But out of all of that, that is very important, they chose something to even more important than that. And that is, I will dedicate my time in serving the Supreme Personality of God. That is a sacrifice. And that remains. So, not you, not I, nothing that is around us after 100 years will be exactly the same. The building will collapse, the structure will change, one story will become multi-story, multi-story will become one story, kids will become, old man, we all are gone, different surrounding, different world. This material world has existed. It will continue to exist. You and I will come and you and I will go. So Shastric teaching is that do some tapasya, do some sacrifice. And if you have opportunity to do that, or if you are doing that, it's fortune, nothing but the fortune on the living entity. So this verse is saying that, oh my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices. So it's not that devotee is saying that my Lord, you have forgot. That's not the mood. Devotee knows that Krishna would not forget. Anything that we are doing, every bit of sacrifice that we have done in our life, all of that, Krishna remembers. But here the mood is that I don't know if the sacrifice that I have made is sufficient enough to go back to home, back to Krishna or not. I don't know. But whatever I have done, my dear Lord, whatever I have done, please recall all of that. Please use all of that and promote me at your feet. Vayur anilam amritam athaidam bhashmantam shariram. My dear Lord, this sharir is going to burn, going to die one day. All will remain is this prana. Please be merciful at me and let this pran merge into the ultimate truth. And what is the qualification I have? The qualification that I have is that whatever potency I had, whatever strength that I had, I tried my best to serve you. So then concept of parampara, disciplic successor and spiritual master and Mahaprabhu, all of them comes into existence. And how we understand that concept, I can give you one story, one example. I have one son and one daughter, and we are family of four. Me, my wife, one son, one daughter, family of four. And again and again, again and again, again and again, I have seen that I'll try to chastise my son. Hey, why you are doing like that? You should do like that. Or my daughter. But my wife will say, no, he just came from work. He just came from his school. He's very tired. Let him do. Let him rest. She always sees good quality. Many times it has happened that she would even go against me, but she would make sure that kids are protected as a mother. And I'm sure many of you are seeing, or many of you are mother, you might be doing the same thing in your family. You are not seeing any fault in your sons or daughter. Mostly not. They do, oh, I know, it will be okay, it will be fine, I'll change it, and I'll improve, I'll tell him not to do that, all of that. So that's how this disciplic successions are. Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Maharaj, Guru, his Guru, and his Guru, and his Gurus, and Gurus of the Gurus, all the way up to Six Goswami, all the way up to Mahaprabhu. That's when we say that our door to Golok Vrindavan is through the disciplic succession. So devotee, I might have done sufficient sacrifice, or I might not have done sufficient sacrifice. But as a mother and father, disciplic succession will take that and present our sacrifice in a fashion that would make us eligible to go back to home, back to Krishna. So here in this prayer, this is prayer series of verses, surely saying that, my dear Lord, whatever I have done, I'm not sure if I have done sufficient to qualify to go back to home or back to Krishna or not, but late, the word is being used in English. Please, even if it's not there, let it be like that. Let it be like that. Let it be like that. So, sadhu sangha sarva shastra kahe, lay mat sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. This verse has multiple degree of understanding. Multiple degree of understanding. But when a bhakta of Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes compassionate, pure devotee, becomes compassionate at you, Somehow or other you did something and their heart got melted. They said, "Oh, Prabhu, you are very nice." They hug you. I pray, that you go back to home, back to Krishna. I pray that you become pure devotee. Do you know how powerful that is? Do you have idea? Anybody has idea how powerful is that? If a pure devotee says, "I'm very happy, Prabhu, the way you are doing, please, go back home, back to Krishna. Please, perform your bhakti. I'll pray Krishna will give you pure devotion." On the other hand, if the devotee is mispleased, if the devotee is not pleased, unpleased, and tells you something in a cursing way, it's equal weight. They say that, "Oh, you were giving me headache. I hope that I don't have to see somebody like you." It's not good. Soon, slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, something will happen and you'll be out of the scale. I'm telling you, please don't take it, in that way. Don't take it in a negative way. So, this disciplic succession will, whatever sacrifice, whatever tapasya, whatever bhakti that we have done, take it and deliver it at the Supreme Personality of Godhead and make us go back to home, back to Krishna. So if you really understand the flow of this verse, first step is that we are engaged in devotional service. We are doing our sacrifice, but that itself is not sufficient. There should be, that's why we say that humility should be there, prayerful mood should be there, dependency on the devotee should be there, and all of that should be there so that one can go back to home, back to Krishna, whatever we have done. Whatever degree of devotional service we have performed, that degree of devotional service will award us result that will take us back to home, back to Krishna. So in this verse, Prabhupada writes so many beautiful points. And this body is going to demolish. We all are going to burn. There will be nothing, that will stay with us. There are different forms and features, women and men and this and that. All of that, uh, we are doing. But then he says, but what is the best that we can get out of this body? Engage in sacrifices. That's how Prabhupada translates. That Prabhupada concludes. Engage this time and opportunity that is given to us in bhakti. And then this verse is cited here. Saranam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padisevedam Varchanam Bandram Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedam. This Navodha Bhakti is given here. And then the contextual discussion that Parikshit Maharaj is being told by Sukadeva Goswami. This is coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. Tashmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagwan Ishwaro Harihi Sotavyam Kritavyam Shah Ashmartavyasha Asmartavyasche Tavayam. In every situation, Tashmad, oh Parikshit Maharaj, doesn't matter you are in happiness or you are in sorrow. Bharata here is Parikshit Maharaj. Tashmad, in every situation. Therefore, doesn't matter whatever is happening, what one should do, one should always try to Sarvatma and Sarvatra all the time and everywhere. Try to remember Bhagwan. That Bhagwan who is present as Ishvara, controller, or Hari, a super soul. So in every situation, whatever situation we have, one should try to remember that Bhagwan through hearing, through reading, through chanting. So everywhere and every time, one should try to remember that Bhagwan, who is Ishvara, who is controller of every living entity, Harihi, who is residing as super soul. Hari here also means super soul, residing as super soul. All the time, one should try to Sarvatma Sarvatraha, all the time and everywhere. One must remember that Bhagwan. And how to remember that Bhagwan? Srotavyaha, by hearing. Krititavya, by engaging in devotional service. Asmartavya, by remembering. So these are the sacrifices. Prabhupada says, what are these sacrifices that we are talking about? These Navadha Bhakti, the 9 limbs of the Bhakti that we are talking about. That's the sacrifice. And if one is engaged in those sacrifices, then at due course of time, remembrance of Supreme Personality of Godhead will be awakened. And then that person will go back to home, back to Krishna. So that's the basically real explanation. Not the real explanation, but explanation of this verse. Contextually, that's what this verse is talking about. Now you will see some details. You will see some wording around it, but that's what it is. Ultimately, all of this diversity, distinctions, differences that we are seeing into the our existence in day-to-day our life, these are all illusory. The purpose of our intelligence, as Krishna says that that person is supremely intelligent, who is taking all of this and engaging in devotional service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that Asmartavya Satatam Vishnu Bhishmartavya Najatsut. They will come to that stage where they'll remember Krishna and they'll never forget Krishna. So what I would like to do is that I would let somebody read. I told you what are the essential conclusion that we are going to see. So some of the sentences that you would see, you would understand that it will lead to this 9 statement here, 9 process of bhakti that will finally give us the remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we'll get there slowly, but let's first start reading from here. Wanna read? Somebody wanna read that?
Yes. The Jiva doesn't die or lose its identity when the body is destroyed. Bhagavad Gita 2.20. The Jiva is never impersonal or formless. The Jiva's body is like a material dress created by material nature. Cycle of revolution. Aquatic, vegetable, worm, bird, animal, human being. Spiritual identity. Soul as part and parcel of the Lord. Leaving the body. The perfection of a jiva is in giving up the material body and attaining a spiritual body. Surrender to Krishna. The most perfected jiva is not one who attains the Brahmajyoti, but one who reaches the point of complete surrender and develops sense of spiritual service. Consciousness at the time of death. A materialist, remember, his heinous activities. The mind surcharged with material desires carries jiva into another material body. The devotees develop love for Krishna by bhakti. Even if they do not remember their service to Krishna at the time of death, the Lord doesn't forget them.
Yeah, so this is the verse, basically 8.6 verse that is cited by Prabhupada here. So we just saw the translation. It says, Yam yam vapi asmaram bhavam tajiti ante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadatad bhava bhavitah. So that's what it says. Whatever at the time of death we remember, without failing, we get that. So if we have a material mind, then we're going to get into this cycle: aquatic, vegetable, worm, bird, animal or maybe human being, one of these, form we get and we get caught into that. But if we have surcharged ourselves spiritually, doesn't matter, doesn't matter, however, then we are going back to Krishna. Ko vaina sevata bina naretram. This is another verse that comes in a discussion with Sukdev Goswami and Prakrit Maharaj. Sukdev Goswami talks about all the beauty of devotional service and then says, who is that human being who would not like to engage in process of bhakti? Then he says it is so beneficial. It's such a big, investment that even if we invest little bit, the return is so big. So he says, who is that person who does not have, who is that person who has little intelligence would not engage in the process of bhakti until that person is killer of oneself. Nare taram, the person who kills oneself. Okay, so this is how Prabhupada says bhakti is such a sublime process, such a beneficial process. Who would not like to be part of it? Unless and until one is clear of oneself. Nobody wants to be clear of oneself. Nobody wants to kill oneself. Bhagavatam does say that one who is not engaged in the process of bhakti, they are killer of the soul. They are killing oneself. So devotee who are engaged in the process of bhakti, doesn't matter what is standard, however, that's between you and Krishna, but you are protecting your soul. You are not killing yourself. Others, if you tell them, they will not like it. But anybody who is not engaged in devotional service, they are killing oneself. This next verse, apiche suduracharo, bhajte mamananya vak, says the same thing. Even if one has committed abominable act, very heinous action, heinous crime, still bhakti would quickly purify them. Who is a perfect example?
Mrikari.
Yeah, Mirkari.
Mm.
Nad Muni, by giving bhakti quickly, very quickly purified. Yes. Jagai and Madhai, an example. Mahaprabhu was caught as fish by the fisherman. Fisherman touched the body of Mahaprabhu and he said, I don't know what happened. I feel like that I have become mad. Suddenly, the fisherman who has all the material contamination and conditioning, and then his consciousness suddenly changed. Now he is a pure devotee because he touched the body of Mahaprabhu. And he's not, what I'm doing now, why my eyes have tears and my hairs are standing by seeing this person. And this person looks so effulgent, so beautiful to me. Bhakti. Premanjana, Churitena below. When the eyes tinge with devotion, that's what happens. So, Prabhupada is saying in this verse, that who would not choose this process of bhakti unless and until one is killer of oneself. Okay, Mataji, please continue.
Same page. If apichestu
Durachara.
duracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadur eva sa mantavyah samyak vyavasito hi saha. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. The impersonalists, their business is word jugglery and mental speculations. One can remember Krishna at the time of death by constant contact with this personal feature. The nine process of bhakti, Shravanam, hearing about Krishna, example Parikshit Maharaj. Kirtanam, glorifying Krishna, Shukadev Goswami. Smaranam, remembering Krishna, Prahlad Maharaj. Padasevanam, serving his lotus feet, Goddess Lakshmi. Archanam, worshipping the deity of Krishna, Prathu Maharaj. Vandanam, offering prayers to Krishna, Akrura. Dashyam, serving Krishna as a servant, Hanuman. Sakyam, making friends with Krishna, Arjuna. Atma Nivedanam, fully surrendering, Bali Maharaj.
So why I have given the example here. Take one of this process and become one of this personality. Become one of this personality. You become Prakshit Maharaj, you become Sukdev Goswami, you become Prahlad Maharaj, you become like Mother Lakshmi. We cannot become Mother Lakshmi. She is goddess of fortune, she is eternal consort. Prithu Maharaj, all of these personalities, they took one anga of the bhakti and they perfected their life. So take the process of bhakti. That's what Prabhupada is concluding here. And along that same line, Drishta Swabhava Janater Vapushya Doser Na Parkritotvam Iha Bhakta Janasya Pashit Ganga Bhasham Cha Khalu Budbud Fena Pankar Brahm Darvatam Apagachati Niradharma. We have read this verse, you know, that even a devotee have so much fault. The word is being used here. Bhakta Janasya Pashit. What type of fault that bhakti is? Subhava Janatar Vapushya Dosar Ganga Bhasham Chakhalu Bud Buddha Fenapankar. No, Bud Buddha Fenapankar. He says that, sometimes there is, a small body of water. Small body of water. This is a very beautiful example. A small body of water, and you would see that the water is not moving. The water has been there for so many, years, and then this water has a lot of biological, things build up, dust and dirt build up, and it's smelly now. Budbuda means it's bubbling. Okay, and fena means, it has foamy structure that has formed. It's smelly. But when that water mix into Mother Ganges, like if you go in India, you would see in Dwarka and other places, people who are living on the bank of Mother Ganges, their sewage water directly comes and falls into Mother Ganges. Have you seen it? I've seen in Patna. No, I've seen it. All the people who are living on the bank of Mother Ganges, everything, every bad thing that they happen in their house, all the bad thing comes and, I've seen in Cuttack also. All these people sewage and dirty water that comes. And once it mixes into the Mother Ganges, it becomes pure. Okay. So devotee might have some defects. This is what this verse is teaching. And this verse says that apichat duracharo, even some has durachara. Achar means behavior, dura means bad behavior. And even some has, bad behavior, but that person should be considered sadhu eva samantavya. Mantavya means to be considered. That person should be considered as a sadhu. Why? Bhajte mamananya bhag. If one is durachari, but worshipping Mam here refers to Krishna, very importantly. If one is worshipping Krishna, Ananya Bhag, unalloyed, without any deviation. Okay, what would happen? At due course of time, Samyak Vivastito Hisaha, that person will be firmly situated in ideal position. Why? Because he is doing devotional service. An example is given here, Vasudev. He was patient of leprosy. All of his body was, pushing and had wound and worms were, all over the body. But you can see Mahaprabhu touched him and how he transformed. This is a very critical example how he transformed. You know. So bhakti will make that type of transformation. Doesn't matter where we are, at due course of time, we will transform to a effulgent person. Similarly, doesn't matter whatever defects we see, even the defects is so bad that it is like bubbles. Botol means being is a bubble, bubbly water, a smelly, bubbly water, foamy water. But when it mixed with Mother Ganges, becomes Ganga. It becomes Mother Ganges, as pure as Mother Ganges. It becomes pure water, no contamination. So pure bhakta who are serving Krishna Ananya Bhak, or even if not pure devotee, engage in devotional service of Supreme Lord, at due course of time, they will become firmly situated in devotional service. So that's what this uh, verse is talking about. So with that, there is some discussion here about art of living and living. You know, how to live and how to live. So how to live is what we are talking about. We are discussing, we are studying all of these scriptural teachings to know how to live, 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 live this life. And all of you are doing that, eating prasadam, serving deity, doing devotional service. That's how we live. And if we are living based on the teaching that is presented in Veda, then at the end, we are going to live spiritually. If we are living a spiritual life, then we are going to live spiritually. So that's very, very important concept. That's the concept that, uh, these verses are talking here. A picture Sutrachara verse that we saw. And this is a concept that is also presented here. That my dear Lord, please, Om Krato. Om Krato here refers to the Supreme Lord. Oh, dear Lord, who is enjoyer of all sacrifices, Prabhupada here. Translate. Kritam Asmara, Asmara Kritam Asmara. Please kindly remember all the sacrifices. So whatever, however, we have lived my life. Kindly. Now I have come to the stage of leaving this body. So please award me accordingly. Okay. So beautiful, beautiful verse. And with that, I would like to pause here and see if there is any realization, any sharing, anything anybody has before we adjourn. Can I hear something
Hare
from
Krishna
devotee?
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for giving this insight. I mean, it's important to do sacrifices, and you suggested so many different types of sacrifice we do, like donating money or Lakshmi, or donating time, or the most important you said about adjusting, humility, about humility. So that I was thinking maybe we should have. Uh, uh, while interaction with people, it's one of the most, you give the example of 3 P's, right? The people, project, and people,
Politics.
project, and politics. Okay, so the people thing, part of it is basically adjusting with people when we are working together. So that requires little bit of humility or understanding, or whatever you call it. And that sometimes we may, because of some misunderstanding or something like that, we may um, do some Vaishnava Aprad, or offend somebody if is not a Vaishnava. But still, I was thinking uh, that is important to be adjusting also.
Yeah. Very easily your statement can be misinterpreted. Misinterpretation is very easily possible.
Yeah.
So you'll send somebody for your information. You know what they're understanding? You just said that for your information, that means I don't have to worry for anything. That means you are saying that I should not interfere. I should not worry. I said that was not the, for your information is something that I'm just informing you. I mean, now you can take the thousands of the meaning of FYI. So some of these things, Prabhu, is
Yeah.
how people perceive you and all of that.
Yeah.
But yes, dealing with all the situation. But as long as we take the mode of humble servant and we do our service as a servant, then situation, in every situation, Krishna will help us. And sometimes that also comes back to you. Then are you really a devotee or not a devotee? Oh, why people are not responding you in a way you expect? Then you understand, no, this verse you have to say, no, my dear Lord, I have just acted for you, I have just served you. Now it's up to you. Whatever decision you want to make, you make. I'll be good with it.
Mm.
So dependence on Krishna in either case is very, very important. Not to make pride, not to be proud, not to have prideness, but dependence is very important.
Prabhu, I had a question. I mean, you said apichet duracharo bhajate mam anene bhag sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasutesa.
Oh,
So that verse is saying that, okay, I mean, we may commit some offenses, um, um, but if one is focused or one is fortunate enough to be focused, we can be, it's okay. I mean, he is firmly situated. But on the other hand, if we do some Vaishnava prad, and as you mentioned, then our inclination towards bhakti may get reduced. In that case, mm, uh, I was a Durachari to a Vaishnava, but that resulted in lack of inclination towards bhakti itself. So, so how do we, uh, is it possible that that happens?
I know that you will you will catch on that one.
Mhm.
So that verse has I did not spend much time. I spend much time on that. That verse has multi-level of understanding.
Mhm.
According to acharyas, that has multiple understanding. And so sometimes people say, Prabhu, you see this verse says that as long as I'm engaged in devotional service, I can do all the nonsense.
That is bad.
Eh?
That is bad. I mean, that is
Yeah,
more
I can do
offensive.
I exactly. So that is not the meaning of that verse. Now
Mm.
you have to see from other side and you have to see from your side. Okay, from your side, you see somebody else like that. Apichet suduracharo vastumamananevak. If somebody even has a bad acharan, bad behavior, from your side, you are saying that, Gopi Bhartu Pad Kamla Das Dasam Dasa, I am your servants and servants of the servants of the servant. Others might not understand. Others, if they have not made sufficient advancement, they would not understand. They would think that you are scared, you are afraid, you are just doing it
Mm.
because it's something, whatever. But you should understand from your side that no, you have to do that because that's what the teaching is. So this is more from I'm trying to answer from your side. From somebody else side, you have no control. You cannot control somebody else's behavior, but we can always control our behavior towards others. Okay,
Mm.
so when we are dealing with others, we should always remember that doesn't matter how somebody fallen is, how somebody is misbehaving in their uh, dealings. At the end of the day, that person is uh, doing Krishna consciousness. So that is a very uh, very critical understanding of this verse. But another understanding, this verse uses the word bhajte mam ananyavak. Okay. So one of the understanding of this verse is that that this verse is not talking about somebody who is not a pure devotee.
Mm. Mhm.
You don't think that this is going to apply to me
Mm.
because I'm not there. Are you following my point?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
So this
So,
is applicable only when you are doing unalloyed devotion, ananya bhag.
mm,
There is no ulterior motives, but still there might be some uh, bad, behavior, or maybe due to uh, association, you may end up doing something bad.
yeah,
Many
for example,
acharyas,
Prabhu, sorry to interrupt. I mean, this is saying that, okay, I am seeing a devotee, then don't ask about his past,
yeah,
right? So, because the past is history. I mean, he might be whatever, but right now, what he's doing, that is more important.
right. That is also, so there are multiple, I said multiple level of understanding of this verse. Uh, but one thing that I personally take out of this verse, which is applicable to us, is that when I have to deal with somebody else, they say that if you have to be heavy, you be heavy on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Home, heavy on myself, and easier on others. That's the
Mm.
home acronyms. Heavy on myself and easy on others. So, we have to be heavy on myself. Okay, I don't have to, do anything. I have to make sure that I'm being heavy on myself.
Mm.
But, but second level of understanding of that verse is that oh, apichet suduracharo bhaste mamananne bhag. Somebody is a durachari, maybe has some bad behavior, but that behavior is not their nature. And perfect example is Maharaj Bharat. Okay, Maharaj Bharat was a Bhava Bhakta, but then he went into the forest. He had nobody to associate to, so he got into attachment with a deer, and then the deer completely deviated him. He had to take birth into the form of a deer. Then, as a Jarvarath realized that no, 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 I already have done a lot of mistake now. The remembrance, remember, stayed
Mm.
of Krishna, right? He remembered Krishna, but he got out of. So that's what it is. Okay. Uh, it says that if a pure devotee sometimes is failing accidentally, that accidental failing is not a failing. One time bloop that we say. Accidentally, if one time bloops, you should have compassion to forgive. But if somebody has a nature, somebody has a behavior like that, then for sure you understand that this person is like that. But if
Mm.
there is one time mistake, then that person should be forgiven, right? As long as one is pure devotee. So I've heard different, explanation of that verse. But one thing that I personally think we should take from our side is that I would not see somebody do achari, because the verse does say that Suninchaiva Supakecha Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavahastani, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's and one of the uh, quality of advanced devotee is that he sees all living entity as part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's Utmadhikari, right? He doesn't differentiate. So behaving like that is also behaving like or pretending or imitating to be Utmadhikari. But I think that is safer than doing offense, because if you do offense against the devotee, then there is no Harinama Aparade Tare Harinam. If you do offense against the holy name or Bhagwan in Harinam, at Lord's feet, then the Lord will, protect you. But if you have committed offense against devotee, nahi paritran, there is no cure for it, or Vaishnava Thakur there. So that's what it is. So we don't want to basically do something that has no cure.
Mhm. Prabhu, I don't know. I don't want to take too much time, but one thing lingers into my mind, and this was right from the beginning of the Krishna conscious days also, is how to not see defect in a devotee. I mean,
Chant more, become Uttmadikari.
no, but but problem is, uh, I'm not saying that. Yeah, I mean, we have to introspect ourselves and try to improve our own self. That's what you're saying, right?
Prabhu, I can tell you one thing. Let me first stop recording. I'll tell you something, okay? It's very important, very, very important to understand. So anyway, it's okay. So you cannot enforce certain behavior in yourself unless and until you spiritually grow. So so I also think that answer of all the problem is you be a very pure devotee, very strong sadhaka, chant name of Krishna, always remember Krishna, engage in a devotional service, you know, Ami to tomar, tomi to amar, my dear Lord, I am yours, you are mine. Don't too much deviate your mind. Stay at the feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead. With that higher realization, you would be able to behave nicely. Because, Kanishta cannot behave like Uttama. Are you following my point?
Yeah.
And one of the example I can give you that one of the things that I have been working, I'm trying, but sometimes I fail. I have a desire, two desire I have, but it's not manifesting. One desire that I have is that Gopi Bhartahu Pad Kamlayor Das Das Anudas. Let me be the servant of all living entity. It doesn't matter who they are, where are they from, what type of body they have, what feature they have, just let me serve. Just Hare Krishna, how are you? How can I serve? Okay. And second thing is love. Love everybody. Serve and love. But I can tell you that sometimes it happens when I'm very good, if I chant very nicely, if I've chanted my round very nicely, I've read, sometimes if my mind get very disturbed, you know what I do, Prabhu? I have apps on my phone. I'll just open something from the scripture and start reading. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur's, um, write up something, I'll pull, some of the writing by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And I mostly like writing Bhaktivinoda Thakur songs and some of his books. And I read few sentences, then slowly and slowly I find out that this is my mistake. And ultimately, what the result I get? It's my mistake, my incompetency. I'm not there yet, you know. And then I try to pray that it's not nobody's fault. It's my fault. So your nature will come. Who you are will come unless and until you naturally become who we want to be. That's why sometimes I say that bhakti has to be part of our nature. It should be our nature. It's not like that I'm doing bhakti. I'm going Hare Krishna temple because people will appreciate I'm a big devotee, or I'm doing this because people will appreciate you. No. Anya vilasita sunyam gyan karmadhyam avritam. It goes in that direction. So let make bhakti our nature. Let grow in Krishna consciousness through chanting and reading and taking the shelter of, and that's how you would be able to automatically control and get rid of all of the things that you want to get rid. Otherwise, planning, Prabhupada, said one of the letter that material leaders are making a lot of planning and meetings, but are they able to solve the material problem? Answer is no. So don't try to solve the problem with the plannings and meetings and discussions. Rather, there is a spiritual answer for all the problem. So that's what it is. We have to, Prabhuji, we have to really be very serious in our Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, you'll suffer a lot. Somebody words will, have impact. You'll have a stress. You'll have all of these people is saying, this is stress and everything else is coming because we think that I'm the body. We think that I'm the doer. But if I think Krishna is the doer, I'm not his body, then what type of a stress I have? So there, we can keep on talking, but not, and I have told that before also. Let the whole thing become natural. Let's make it our nature. I'm devotee. That's all. It's my nature. I'm doing it because I love doing it. There is no other reason. I'm doing bhakti of Krishna because I love Krishna. And I'm the soul. I'm servant. Some of those things when becomes our nature, and how that becomes our nature when you grow, Kanishta to Madhma to Uttama. Once you become Uttama, you'll have, and very simple example is that can somebody make you eat meat? No. As soon as you know that there is meat, I mean, you have no taste for it. Automatically, right? The taste is gone. Exactly. So once we grow in Krishna consciousness, automatically. So if I have pain, if I'm hearing criticism, if I'm this and that, and if it's hurting me, after reading Bhaktivinoda Thakur and some of the Acharya, I conclude, I come to this understanding that, for sure, it's my lackness. I'm not there. That's why I'm feeling this pain. But my dear Lord, please help me get there. Please help me so that I don't feel this suffering. And I have to pray. Is this good enough, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes, yeah. And I think the bottom line, what you are saying is we have to be touch in with the Shastra and Acharya.
Always in
And
touch
that,
of fire.
mm,
Yeah, if you get too disturbed, don't try to find the answer in the material way. Prabhu,
mm,
मेरे life में ऐसा हो रहा है, what should I do? It will not help. One thing that will help you, just randomly open a page of Bhagavad Gita, read something. You'll find that Prabhupada is talking about that. I do that a lot. And then you read. Then my mind become a little broader. Then I can understand the broader. Oh, ultimately, it's me. I'm not doing the way I should be doing, and that's better for you. If you find that you have made the mistake, you will grow. But if you find somebody else has made the mistake, it will go down, or you will stay wherever you are. Did you catch my point?
yeah, get
So
it.
it's,
Yeah.
so it's always good to be at the fault. Yes, I'm very fallen. That way you can elevate. Okay. But if you think that, oh, I'm pretty good, all the mistake that happens is only happening because of Manohar Prabhu, then I'm not correcting myself. I'm not, promoting myself. I'm staying wherever I am. It's called complacent zone. I'm very complacent. Wherever I am, oh, it's perfect. Super good. No. But if you feel like that, no, I'm making mistakes, I'm at the fault, then you'll progress. It's good enough, Prabhuji.
Yes, yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Dandat pranams. Sorry, I really appreciate everybody for your kind, consideration. I had a training to go through, so I finished, and I knew a little late. So thank you, everybody. Dandat pranams. We'll connect next week. Vansh kalpatarivese kripa sindhuvese patitanam pavaneve vaishnave namo namo. Only one verse is left, and then I'm done. You would not hear any more from me. Now I'll be hearing from you. So let's give the exam and all of that. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu.
पंचकल्पातरु वैसे कृपा सिंधु वैसे
Hare Krishna.
पतितनाम पावन में वैष्णव नमन महानंद कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Please